Now, your forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
And I'm out in the Matex Heating and Cooling Weather Garden. It is really comfortable out here. Temperatures in Champaign at 76 degrees, 79 in Decatur, as well as in Lincoln, 77 in Effingham, and still holding on to 80 in Petersburg with a lot of sunshine like we've got on our Flooring America weather camera from Springfield on our Roofing Dog Island. Our winds are out of the east, or northeast, I should say, up to around 10 miles per hour. So there's a nice breeze helping to keep things moving along. We're expecting another very comfortable night for the backyard this evening, and then overnight tonight should be good with temperatures falling back down into the middle 50s again. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
It's a crackdown on Campus Town as students return to the U of I. What restrictions have been put in place to slow the spread of COVID-19?
One person tested positive for the coronavirus, and now an entire school district is pushing back its first day.
Changes are coming to the grounds of the state capitol. Which statues are out and which one is in.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
What is new about this is that now there is enforcement associated with it.
Champaign and Urbana are preparing their cities for thousands of new people coming in as students return to campus. Good evening, I'm Jennifer Roscoe. Yesterday, we told you about the restrictions on eating and drinking inside Campus Town businesses. Today, more details were announced about what they're doing to prevent a COVID outbreak. WCIA 3's Andy Olson is live in Campus Town. So, Andy, restrictions for bars there started 5 o'clock. So what else is in the plans?
Well, Jennifer, it was announced with yesterday's restrictions that CU Public Health is adopting a mandatory mask policy, and that'll have fines for people who don't comply. With thousands of people coming from around the country back to this community, they're pulling out all stops to be as safe as possible. Fall semester starts at the U of I next week, and students are already moving back in. Everyone at the school is being tested, but both Champaign and Urbana know this integration period is important to avoid any type of outbreak.
We know that the next 3 weeks are critical, that, we can rise or fall on what happens over the next 3 weeks.
Champaign is also introducing a party ordinance. Gatherings are being restricted to the people who live in a building or apartment and no more than 10 other people. UIPD and Champaign Police will be enforcing this and giving out tickets. With bars and restaurants in Campus Town not letting people eat or drink inside, Mayor Deb Finan hopes these first weeks set them up to succeed later.
We have the opportunity then hopefully for our students to remain on campus, for our caseloads to be low, and for us to remain open through November.
CUPHD is also introducing a mandatory mask policy.
We've used basically carrots forever for this, and it works for most people. So unfortunately, sometimes you need the stick, which is a law with a enforcement piece.
Tickets will also be given out for gatherings over 50 people. CUPHD says it's not what they want to do, but they think it's in the best interest of everyone for the time being.
When you have a young 18-year-old standing at the door of a business establishment trying to pass out masks and asking people to wear them, and people are refusing to do it and yelling at her or him and walking into the business anyway, it doesn't seem fair to have the only enforcement tool be enforcement against that business.
Both Champaign and Urbana are adding some restrictions that apply citywide to bars and restaurants. No matter if you're seated inside or outside, you need to be seated to be served in both Champaign and Urbana. And of course, you can walk around inside for only a few reasons, though. If you do, you need to wear a mask. Those changes will go into effect starting this Friday. Live in Champaign, Andy Olson, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Andy, thank you. This is an update for you. We told you earlier this week about how the U of I was waiting for FDA approval on its saliva test. Today, the school announced they got it. That means any university in the country can use it, or any healthcare facility. Before now, it was only approved by Illinois Public Health. The method gets results within hours, compared to the nasal test, which can take days. That means people who have tested positive can start isolating sooner. Now, some of you reached out to us asking how COVID cases in college students are being tracked, whether they're counted in the counties where they're staying or where their permanent addresses are. WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting is live in our newsroom. So, Courtney, tell us, what'd you find out?
Well, Jennifer, I found out both U of I and EIU are asking students to use their current address whenever they go and get tested. That way, if they test positive, that's counted in the county where they currently live. Now, for example, though, if an EIU student gives their permanent address instead for whatever reason, and it's not in Coles County, that could offset the totals. The good news is, through contact tracing, whatever health department they're currently working with will figure out where they're staying at the time. The danger is it could take longer.
By the time the other county or other state will find out about this, do the investigation, and then transfer that information to us, it may be days. And it's pretty much, of no use once you know of a positive case and you've not put them in isolation immediately or within 24 hours.
Eastern is strongly encouraging all their students to be tested, but on the other hand, U of I is requiring it. CU public health leaders say they suggest that all universities require it as opposed to just strongly suggesting. And while EIU isn't requiring all of the students to get tested, they say they are providing incentives to get students to do it, for example, using raffle tickets. Live in the newsroom, Courtney Bunting, WCIA3, your local news leader.
All right, we'll see if that works. Courtney, thank you. For the third straight day, the positivity rate has gone up in Illinois and now stands at 4.4% over the last 7 days, still below the warning level of 8%. There were almost 2,300 new cases in the state. There was a single-day high of more than 50,000 new tests. There are now 211,000 total cases. 25 more people have died in the last day. The state has passed the 7,800 mark in deaths. We have new information. The Capitol Architect Board voted today to remove the statues of Stephen Douglas and Pierre Menard off Capitol grounds. And Martin Luther King Jr. is going to get a better spot there. WCIA3's Cole Henke live in Springfield. So, Cole, what are they going to do with these statues?
Well, the plan is to put the Douglas and Menard statues into storage, and the Capitol Architect is hoping to have that done within the next couple of months. But the board today did not address any of the statues, including one of Douglas, inside the Capitol. The Illinois State Architect Board voted unanimously to remove the Stephen Douglas statue from the Capitol grounds and to move the Martin Luther King Jr. statue to a more prominent spot. The MLK statue won't be replacing the Douglas statue. In fact, nothing will for the time being. The statue will be removed, foundation and all.
Yeah, especially with Douglas, there are steps leading up to the actual base. So if we remove those steps, the foundation wall actually sticks up. So we would propose removing all of it.
The state architect did not set a hard deadline for when the statue would be moved, instead saying it will be moved in the next couple of months. The board also did not discuss the statue of Stephen Douglas that is inside the Capitol. Capitol Architect Board member Scott Kaiser suggested that not only should the MLK statue be moved, but it should also be remade.
No offense to whoever did it, but I just think that's a poor rendering of Dr. King, and I think we could do better. So I just point that out. I'd like, at some point, I think we should consider having that one redone.
The meeting came weeks after House Speaker Michael Madigan called for the removal of the statue, as well as the removal of a portrait of Douglas in the House chamber. He called for the removal of the statue after learning about Douglas's history as a slave owner. Senate President Don Harmon was pleased with the board's vote, saying in a statement that he hopes it will start a longer conversation that can show, quote, how we can do better to accurately represent our state's past. And Speaker Madigan's call also echoed that statement from Harmon, saying that they should investigate more of the statues around the Capitol. And House Republican Tim Butler also agreed with it back when Madigan first released that first statement. Reporting in Springfield, I'm Cole Henke, WCIA3, your local news leader.
Okay, Cole, thank you. Now, as for that portrait of Douglas in the House chamber, it's opposite a photo of Abraham Lincoln. After Madigan called for its removal, it was covered with this black tarp. The House will vote in November on getting rid of it as well as replacing it with a portrait of former President Barack Obama. There will not be any Illinois football this fall. Now parents are getting involved. Also tonight, there's a new plan for the Danville Casino, what the new one may look like at its new location.
Out in the weather garden, we got the Chiefs Weatherstone here. It'll be sunny as well as dry for tomorrow as well, since we're calling for more sunshine like it was today. Very comfortable today. We had temperatures topping out in the upper 70s and low 80s for a lot of us, including in Champaign. We're topped at 79. So coming up, our weather headlines. We've got a lot of sunshine coming up with a dry forecast next.